Greetings, minions, and welcome to the Unit 1.1 video number 3 for Mr. McGeehee's 9th grade biology class at Arizona School for the Arts. This video series follows the biology coloring book by Robert D. Griffin. In this video, we're going to take a look at 3 concepts. First, matter and the elements, which corresponds to coloring book plate number 4. Second, compounds and mixtures, which corresponds to coloring book 5. And then finally, elements and living things, found on coloring book plate 6. Matter represents all the stuff in the universe. A simple definition of matter is that it's anything that has mass and takes up space. And the reason that it's important for us as biology students is that the bodies of living things are made of matter. And as we saw from a previous video, matter is used in the capture and transfer of energy from the environment. We all know there are 3 states of matter. Most of you probably know that there is a 4th state of matter called plasma, but unless you're living on the surface of the sun, you're not likely to experience that one. So we're going to stick to these 3. The 3 states of matter are solids, liquids, and gas. And each one has sort of a peculiar description that helps us to understand how the particles in the substance are behaving. In a solid, the particles are fixed in place, and the most that they can do as far as moving goes is vibrate in place. In a liquid, the particles are free to flow past one another. But in a gas, those particles have enough energy to separate and collide and bounce off of surfaces in the environment. You should also know that you can change a solid or a liquid or a gas into some other state of matter by adding or removing heat. So for example, if you have a cube of solid water, you can add heat to that ice cube, and eventually it becomes a liquid. And if you keep adding heat, that liquid will eventually become water vapor. Matter is composed of atoms, which are particles that can't be broken down into simpler substances through chemical means, and molecules, which are substances that are composed of 2 or more atoms that are bonded together. This is a good example of how atoms are joined together through chemical reactions to form compounds, or molecules. So on the left side of this slide, we can see that there are 2 atoms of hydrogen and 1 atom of oxygen. When a chemical reaction occurs, those hydrogen atoms can become chemically bonded to the oxygen to produce a molecule of water, or H2O. We use atomic symbols to represent the different elements. So the atomic symbol for hydrogen is a capital H, and the atomic symbol for oxygen is a capital O. An empirical formula shows us the number and kind of elements in a molecule. So for our example, water, or H2O, we have 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom in every molecule of water. A mixture is a substance that can be combined in such a way that the components of that substance are easily separated. Additionally, each substance in the mixture retains its unique properties. So in this example of candy, we've got a large number of different kinds of candy, and you could separate out each type of candy pretty easily. And additionally, each piece of candy retains its unique flavor. Compounds are different. A compound is formed when substances combine through a chemical reaction. And because the chemical reaction forms chemical bonds between each substance, the substances aren't easily separated anymore. Also, the original properties of each substance are lost, and new properties emerge. For example, here's sodium. It's a soft metal, And when you combine sodium with water, it results in a violent explosion. Chlorine is a green gas, and it's so toxic that it can be used as a chemical weapon. However, when you combine sodium and chlorine, you get sodium chloride. The chemical reaction produces a substance that has a solid crystalline structure, but it dissolves easily in water and has many benefits for living things. Finally, I'd like you to make a chart that looks like this in your notes. Despite the fact that there are about 92 elements that occur in nature, only a small number of them are important to living things. The body of a rabbit, for example, is composed almost entirely of only 6 elements. Those elements are listed here. What I'd like you to do is find the common name for each of the elements listed and research at least one role that each element plays in a living thing. That's the end of the video. Please make sure you complete the corresponding review questions, and as always, be prepared to show your notes to me in class. Thanks very much. Have a great evening.